Okay, yep. So welcome to this week's Inside Real Estate Strategy Session webinar, Success Strategies webinar. The topic today is success with manual listings and pitch sheets. I'm hoping everybody can see my screen. It says it's screen sharing. If you can't, let me know. These are always recorded and posted to the Facebook group at insiderealestate.com/Facebook group, and also we have insiderealestate.com/webinars. So if you need to hop off the live or you came in late or whatever and you need to watch this in the future or any of our other sessions, you can find it on this page, insiderealestate.com/webinars. So what I was hoping to do today was take a look at our manual listings feature and also kind of unveil a new feature that we've been working on that's been rolling out and should be available to everybody if it's not already available right now, hopefully by the end of today into tomorrow. And that's a new feature called pitch sheets. So we're going to touch upon that as we get in here. But one of the things with our new pitch sheets, which should help you get listings, is that you need to get some manual listings set up, at least one manual listing set up in order to use them. So what we'll do is we're going to create a manual listing today, and then we're going to explore some of the ways you might promote a manual listing, the different options there. And then we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about this new pitch sheet feature. The URL that I just indicated, Trudy, was insiderealestate.com/webinars. So I'll paste that in the chat for everybody. Insiderealestate.com/webinars, like so. And then the Facebook group is at insiderealestate.com/Facebook group. And it's just chock full of fun if you haven't checked in there yet. We post a lot of this kind of content to the Facebook group on almost a daily basis. Okay, so first off, let's dive in and talk about creating a manual listing and what manual listings are. I'm going to switch over here into KV Core, and I'm going to go into the little house icon over here on the left side, and that's our listings tab right here. So I'm trying to expand this out. You can see where it says listings on the left side. And if I go right up here under where it says property listings, you'll see you have this kind of grayed out option for manual listings. And you can have a lot of fun with manual listings. Of course, the idea here is that you can create listings that don't already exist in your MLS. Maybe you have something coming soon or something that, not that you would ever do this, but something that's pocket. I don't know if that word's even cool to use, but for whatever reason, the listing's not living in the MLS. We have this functionality here in KV Core that'll let you build out a manual listing. So I'm going to just go ahead. It's very quick to do. I'm going to build one out. I have an example here, but I'm going to kind of redo this example right here. So we're going to click Add Listing at the top. We'll pop in the address. It'll kind of do the Google Map search here for you. There we go. And then we can pick an area, county, neighborhood. It will work if you don't fill all of this out. We can pick the listing type. Now the type, again here, you can do coming soon. Exclusive would kind of be the pocket idea where it's just your listing and it's live. Or a cool way to use this might be just sold listings. If you want to kind of keep an inventory of all the properties you've sold and have them in here as sold listings, that's kind of a neat way to go too if you want to show off what you've sold in the past. So I'm going to do a coming soon for this option right here. The property type, we'll just pick the type. I'll pick single family. You can put a style in, bungalow or something. Year built. And nothing here is really hard to do. You just kind of do what it is. And then I'll put in some square footage. And then we'll get to the screen here where we can upload some photos. I had some here just ready to go. So grab a couple of those. You just upload them one at a time, like so. Now, of course, in most cases, most of us are going to have more than 3 pictures to deal with. So I'm just going to use 3 for demo purposes. And hopefully my wife doesn't walk in. This is my house before all the money was spent renovating it. So she's like, don't show off. I would probably get in trouble either way because I probably shouldn't be showing off my house as it's lived in now. So this is my demo property here. Some of the old pictures. And then we'll just put an arbitrary price on it. And then you can set here a listing date when it's going to be listed. I'm going to use today, and then you can tell the system to remove it from the site at a later date. You're doing it coming soon. And then eventually you can have it linked directly to the MLS listing. So I guess if it then becomes listing and you have an ID, you would put the MLS ID in here, and the system will link it together. like so. And then the status means I'm just turning it on so it's kind of live on the site. And then we would have a description here, right here. Okay, so I'm going to just click and add it. There's not much to that, not a very hard feature to use. Where it gets fun, of course, is when we start to promote the listing. Kathy's asking, is the Facebook group to learn more about the KV Core platform? Yeah, we do have a lot of content in there. It tends to be sort of user-generated content or advanced case studies that I post and other people post. I would definitely check out the learning portal inside of KV Core down here at the bottom left of the dashboard where I have my mouse. If you want to kind of learn the basics, we have a bunch of good courses in there, including the Agent Success Plan. But yeah, you'll learn some pointers and tips and tricks inside of the Facebook group. Okay, so now that I've got my property listing here, I can drill down into it. And I'm going to have a handful of options for promoting it. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to show where it would display on the front side. And Susan, if you're listening, I might need you to bail me out here because I'm actually not sure if these automatically show, or if you want to tell me in the chat how we make the manual listings show. I know we have our listings tab. And I was preparing this morning, and this came to mind, but I forgot to mention. I'm sure we're gonna have a question. How do we get the manual listing to show on the front of the page website? Just go to our listings. Oh, okay. It'll show under your agent. So, and then it should show here. Susan's telling me, you guys can probably see it in the chat too. It should be it might be a 15-minute cache thing. That's why I'm not seeing it right away. So your listing should show on the front end, which is nice. People can find it on your website, but for my money, I think the way that people are going to mostly find your listings is by you directly promoting them. And that's what I kind of wanted to talk about next, what options you have within the system for getting some eyeballs on this coming soon listing. And also we're gonna talk about how you can leverage a coming soon listing to generate fresh leads, some strategy around that. So here I am inside of the listing right here. Got some information. You can actually see the site activity on it once it starts to happen, views by your leads and other information. I liked that the map right here, it occurred to me, just a bonus tip earlier, it shows the street view right away. And it occurred to me that you can make a really kind of cool video really quickly using screencasting software and say, hey, or even using the new core video if you want, screen view, and say, hey, I've got this listing coming soon. You might be playing around as I'm doing. I'm kind of spinning the world, right? And you can record yourself. I got this listing coming soon on 44th Street. If you want to learn more about it, opt in below, and you would put this video on a landing page, which I'll show you in a minute, kind of how to create that kind of landing page. So you do have some nice information about the listing here at your fingertips. And then what you can do is you see right here, you can send it up at the top right. You can send it to a list of contacts, to a single contact, or a multiple contacts right away, which is pretty cool. So you can say, hey, I thought you might like this listing I have coming soon. Send it to a few buyers that way. And then you have here, you can send it out via text message. You can email and text it to a whole hashtag. So these top two are if you wanted to do it one at a time. And I'll make the screen a tad bit bigger for you guys. And then I can email it to everybody in a hashtag. So maybe it's everybody who's, in this hashtag. I could send it right away to all of those people and text it similarly. So the system, more or less, if you click these three dots, will walk you through some steps you can take. Let's generate a QR code. This is useful. So you could put this QR code on a postcard, or you could put it in videos. You can use it in a Facebook ad. I might even use just this. I'm going to save this here. I'm going to show you an example of this in a second. I could save this to my computer and then upload it as a Facebook ad image and say, hey, I've got this property coming soon. Scan the QR code. Maybe that doesn't work great on Facebook since a lot of people are on mobile, but definitely on a sign writer would be a good place. Or if you're doing a mailing, you'd have this QR code that people can scan and see the property. Other things we can do, of course, right away, we can print a flyer. Like so. So I didn't have a lot of pictures in there, but you can quickly print out a flyer for your coming soon listing, your manual listing. And then we have the social sharing options these next three options right here. So I can quickly post it to Facebook. Taking a second to load up. But as you can see, it grabbed the first image, and now I can drive traffic back to the manual listing on my site very quickly just by posting it to Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, I believe, is the last one. And then the next option we have, very easy, and I think this is one that may generate the most leads quickly, potentially, especially if you're in a hot market and people are browsing Craigslist. If I use the post to Craigslist, it's going to tie in to my KV Core Chrome extension up at the top right, which has our Craigslist posting feature built in, kind of hovering over that. I'm going to pick my county, and I should, after I click continue, you see all of the things it's doing. I'm not doing any of that. Basically, the Chrome extension just took over my browser. I've got my hands off the keyboard right now, and it's just doing all this stuff for me. And it creates a nice, quick post for me, just like that. Like so. So definitely, if you're doing a coming soon or exclusive, you're definitely going to do that. It only takes a second to do, and then I can publish this and have it live and ready to go. Now, I can see here, right here, it gave me a title. It kind of spun out a cool headline. That's nice. I can always come in here though, and I can edit this, and I might say something like coming soon, be the first look. So you can always come in here and edit some of this, edit this out right here. And then my description was here. I can also change my text call to action to my smart number as well, if I want. So definitely do the Craigslist posting right there as part of your promo for manual listing. So these are sort of kind of the built-in right on the listing page options you have for promotion. The next thing I kind of wanted to dive in on was building out a landing page and a text code. To me, building a specific landing page for a coming soon property is probably the most efficient way to actually generate some leads and curiosity, because you've got something that nobody else has on their website. And that kind of allows you, as with all lead generation, you kind of want to have something unique, and having a unique property that isn't listed is a good way to go. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to create a landing page for this coming soon property. So first thing I'll do is I'll go to my direct link. I'm going to kind of open it up in a new page, because I'm going to need this link here in a second as I build my landing page. So you can see here is the property. I'm going to need this URL, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a landing page that then redirects to this page for the information. Okay, and this will make a lot more sense here in a second. So I'm going to go into my lead engine. Good question. Kathy's asking, if we don't have any listings, can we post to Craigslist, our brokerage's listings? I would just ask your broker. So I'm going to defer to whatever their policies are. They may have policies, regarding other listing agents in the office might not want you doing that, or it might be a blanket policy that you're allowed to. But yeah, I mean, that would be a good strategy if you don't have listings, is definitely ask. So here I am in our lead engine. I'm going to go to landing page right here, pick my URL, click start building. And before, remember a few minutes ago, I said I could do that video option. See up here on the left? I could attempt to do this. I'm worried it would bog down my computer, but remember how I said I could record a quick teaser video? You could record a quick teaser video of you standing outside the property, or you could do a screencast video of you scrolling down the street view. I'm worried that if I try to do that with Zoom running right now, it might bog things down, but I'll just kind of insert that here as a tip. You might want to probably get better results if you do a video of you standing outside the property or doing a screen share, telling people what's inside. But for now, I'm just going to do a regular lead generation page like this. And I'm going to say coming soon, and then just the address. Enter your, learn more about this awesome property about to hit the market. Like that. I'm going to get rid of these other options here. I'll show you a little hack. So it's not really a hack, but what I can do is I can actually set the background to be the background, a picture of the property, at the front of the property. Now, if we had a regular listing that was in the MLS, I can actually choose background and put the MLS image as the background like this. So I could click primary MLS and put the MLS number in. But because I'm doing a manual listing and it's coming soon, I'm gonna need to use the custom background option right here. And what I'll do is I'm gonna click custom background, do that again. And it says enter the URL for the background image. Now watch what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go over here to the actual picture. I'm gonna click it and it kind of hovers over it, and then I can copy the actual image address from my website. So you see, I just kind of click it, it brings it into the center, right click, copy the image address, and then if I want, I can make that my background, like this. I saw a few people raise your hands. It's kind of hard because I'm the only one moderating the chat, but if you want to chat me whatever issues you have in the chat box, I'll try to get to them. So you see what it did here? It kind of threw the house in the background. Makes kind of a cool landing page, right? With the property image in the back. And then I'll go up here, I'll put a hashtag in, 246644, so I know it's from when I get the leads. See details and asking price. Asking price will be something that the neighbors might be curious about. So if I sent, for example, a just listed, a coming soon postcard, you know, and I drove them to this page, they'd probably be curious about the price. I would leave the price off the postcard, and this might be a nice way to build a database of local homeowners who I might be able to list someday, and people who might know, you know, a friend or relative might want to buy the property. So see details and asking price. And then my URL after login, of course, was the URL of the page, of my manual listing page that I got here in the beginning. I can require a phone or not. I usually don't because it'll reduce conversions, in my opinion, and you get a lot of fake numbers. And then I'm just going to click save. Okay. And now I've got a nice kind of landing page where if somebody opts in, so if they Ryan Test at InsideRealEstate.com, it'll now redirect that lead over to the property, like so. And then the lead will show up inside my smart CRM. And this is cool. Hopefully it's in there. Let me clear my filters. There it is. It always happens, right? You don't have your filters cleared from your last search and you wonder what's going on. So you can see the lead came in, it's got the hashtag. And now, of course, later on, all the people who opt in to see information about this manual listing that I created is coming soon. I can always send them more messages about the property by sending mass emails and texts, you know, updates. So, so what we've done is we've built ourselves a landing page. Oh, I better save that thing. Woof. I'm going to bookmark it right here. Just a pro tip. I think it's a feature that's going to be coming, but you can't save them and go back to them later. So I like to just drag in Chrome down to my bookmarks bar, and then you can build a folder that you keep all your landing pages in inside of Chrome. A little bit of a tangent, but if you don't know how to do this, basically what you do is you right click up here and you can click add folder in Chrome, and you can say landing pages like that. Get it back up here. And then I can drag my landing pages into that folder. Little bonus tip. Okay, so yeah, I'll slow down and kind of go back a little bit here. So Ruben's asking, how is the website created? If you mean the website for the property, this initial one, this is what I built in the beginning. I went into the manual listings feature. I went into my listings tab and I built that out. And then the link to that can be found inside of the listing, if that's the question you're asking. So I go to my manual listings. I'm just going to drill in here quickly. And you can see right over on the right side, it says direct link. And this is where that's generated, if that's what you mean by that question. If you're asking how I created this landing page, this is in the lead engine. We have the option to build a landing page. So what I basically just did was I put a way for somebody to opt in to be able to see the property in front of the property page. I kind of am gating it, so to speak, and requiring contact info. Yeah, and Susan's answering nicely there too. And then the question was, how did you put the house picture as your background? What I did was I grabbed the URL, the image URL from the main property page. I kind of clicked on it and I right-clicked and I took the image address. And when you're building your landing pages, show you here. And this will be in the replay too. If I went a little too fast, I apologize, but you can go back and watch this again. You can see up at the top, we have this option for background. And I can choose custom background. And then it asks, this is the URL of the house, of the image on my manual listing page. That's what I'm going to put in right here. So custom background and then URL. And you can put any URL that's sitting on the web, and that'll make the background. So good next question, Jamie. So Jamie's asking, how is the customer going to get to that landing page? Yep, so that's right where I'm going next. So now we have this landing page here. Where'd she go? Right here. And then our job becomes promoting this. And it becomes just like any other thing we do to drive traffic for our real estate business. And there's so many different options that we have. We can come down here. We can promote promotional ideas. I'm going to kind of just type them out. We can run a Facebook ad. That's probably the first thing I would do. I would run a basic Facebook ad in that area to just say that the property's coming soon. We can do YouTube ads. We could do just listed or coming soon postcards in the mail. Note about URL. I'm going to come back to that in a second. We could put it in our email signature. We could run any other, we can ads on other networks like Twitter, Pinterest, anywhere you can get traffic online, Google Display. So really, I should probably lump all these together. These are kind of like our paid traffic sources here. Google Display. Postcards in the mail, that would kind of be offline. Put it in an email signature if you want. And then you can do things like flyer box, right? Or sign riders. So instead of giving everybody all the information on the flyer box, right? You might have a flyer. You might only give them the URL. So you could make a quick flyer like this. This is the kind of nitty-gritty direct response way to go about this. This is what like a Bob Mangold would do. You'd go here and you'd go, instead of giving all the information in the flyer box, you do something like, for more details about this property, visit 2466 www.246644.info, like this. And then, of course, I'll make this bigger. Bear with me. Because, in this particular example, that's probably who's going to be most interested in coming soon. It's going to be people driving by, they're in the neighborhood, and they're going to come see this tube with the information inside. They're going to see a sign rider. So I would go buy a domain on GoDaddy and just redirect it to my coming soon landing page like this. And that's probably how you'll get most of the leads from this, actually, is the physical, the sign itself that it's coming soon. Or if you can do just a postcard mailer, you're going to want to time all this so that it happens before the property gets listed. But you might send your mailer out a week before, you're going to list it, so it hits the neighbors a couple of days prior to you actually listing the property. And then you drive all that traffic to this vanity URL like this. You can also give them more information about the property, but just say, hey, to be notified when the property gets listed, go here. Lots of different ways. So hope these ideas work. If anybody else has any other ideas, I'm probably just drawing a blank, but these are probably the main categories: the paid ads, you know, the physical postcards in the mail, newspaper would work the same exact way. You know, coming soon, and you put the URL, people go there. Let me get rid of the email signature here, but because those are people you already have on your list, like that. And of course, you could also email the landing page to your existing database if you want. You could go into KV Core, you know, pick a hashtag, send out and say, hey, this property's coming soon. And it might require them to put their email in to learn more again, or you might send them directly to the property listing. It's up to you. Could be an interesting way to see who's still got a pulse. You know, if you want to require them to opt in again, then you'll see those leads come in again. You'll see that they came in with that new hashtag, I should say. How are we doing, everybody? Am I moving at a good pace? So yeah, basically what I've just showed you is you can take a coming soon listing, even a just sold, I mean, in theory, and you could start to generate leads from it by putting a landing page in front of it. Just sold will look very similar. You could say just sold 123 Main Street, enter your information for, and you just say see what it sold for, and you can make people opt in to see the price, the pricing info on the just sold. Another option then, so we did our landing page, and it would look very similar to a landing page, is we could build this funnel around a text code instead of a landing page. So I could go into the lead engine here, and then I could go to where it says call capture. And I could create a custom text code for the property. So maybe I'll just do this one as 2466. And then I would say, hi, here's the details about that property. And then I'm simply going to link them to the URL of the property. And there was a shortened one, you know, when I built it. I might use a shorter one since we're sending a text, but this is actually fairly short, so I'll just do that. You going to buy it? I like to have a little fun there at the end, just very direct. All right. Or, you know, or just ask another question that they can reply to. And then if they opt in, we'll do 2466 text code. So if somebody texts it, and then I'll have it sent to this smart number. So then anytime somebody texts this custom code 2466 to this smart number, it'll reply back with the text, with the link to the manual listing page that I've created. So this to this. So what this looks like, I'll just show you. For promotional reasons, let's go into Facebook here. And what I'm about to write could be something you do on your personal profile, or it could be, this could actually be the content of an ad. So here we go. So say, listing coming soon, 44th Street. If you know anybody who needs a, 4-bedroom, 2-bath with a great yard, tell them to text to, and then the smart number, like this. Just make it look right. And I could put a picture of the property on here. If I want to go the extra mile, I would do a video of myself standing outside. Oops. This one. But that could be, this alone could be a good Facebook ad. And of course, everybody who texts, that's a cell number lead. You've got the cell number of the person who texted. And of course, the system will automatically send them details about the property. So you don't have to do a bunch of, you don't have to call them back and give them info or anything, but you'll have the lead, and you can then interact if you want. Great question, Soledad. I actually, I'll address that here in a second. So the question was, how did you get the smart number? That actually shows right here when you build the code. It'll actually tell you which smart number it's tied to, if your office has multiple or if you just have the one. So it kind of tells you right next to the code, here's the code and here's the number. Soledad's asking, when you do a teaser video in front of the house, do you just talk about some of the features of the home or do you have to show the inside as well? Yeah, I actually did. I think it's about a year and a half ago. I did a whole webinar about that very thing. I think I called it the door, the outside the house video approach or something. Let's see if I can find that real quick and I'll drop that to you, to everybody who's watching. I think I can find it pretty quickly. But basically, it's up to you. You stand outside. You could say, hey, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's in this school district. It's got a great kitchen. Opt in and I'll tell you the price and I'll give you the inside tour. You'd have like a 2-parter where they then get the inside tour. Or in this case, you know, for our example, hey, this listing's coming soon. Here's what it's about. It's got a great kitchen. It's got a nice 2 bathrooms. If you want to be notified when it hits the market and how much it's going to be listed for, just go ahead and opt in right now. So I think I called it the door teaser. I think that's what it's called. There we go. So I'll drop this to everybody who's watching live and I'll try to get it in the comments. Just know you can always go to insiderealestate.com/webinars and it's in the KV Core playlist in our YouTube channel. It's in that first blue button right here. And then all these, everything you see on the screen can be found there. But yeah, that should work really well for coming soon. The nice thing, of course, about video, we've been talking a ton about video, of course, is that if you put a video on this landing page, you're starting to build rapport before the person even becomes a lead. So that when they do opt in and they start getting follow-up from you about the property, they kind of already know who you are. So you're making touches in a leveraged way. So I would argue it's worth the extra effort to do that, especially if you're good at selling, you know, on video, and you can really build up some excitement about the listing and just tell them, look them in the eye, so to speak, and say, hey, here's why this listing is awesome. Here's why you want to opt in right now. Make sure you're the first known because it's going to sell fast because it's got, you know, the best pool in town or whatever it might be. So yeah, I do move fairly quickly. These tend to be a little more advanced and a little more strategic, these sessions, but you can always watch the replay later. And then definitely just go to insiderealestate.com/webinars to watch this again. You know, I always assume everybody knows this, but you can also watch replays in fast or slow motion. Oh, there I am. By clicking the gear at the bottom. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can speed me up if I get boring, or you could slow me down if you want to slow me down. All right. So Fareed was asking, is the custom code different from the text code? Nope, same thing. I probably have been using those interchangeably. So sorry for any confusion there, but custom code is the text code. Just force of habit. Okay. So your text codes would be promotable very similar, right? So we have our, say you put a flyer in the door, instead of using a URL, you would just say text here to here. You do your Facebook post as I showed here, text this to that. And then you can kind of adapt that. You can make sure that text code goes into your Craigslist post. If you're sending postcards, you might have people text instead of going to a URL. It all looks very similar, you know, to how you promote a landing page. You're just using a different capture point, so to speak, and you're subbing out the text code for the landing page URL. So to go for all these trainings, it's insiderealestate.com/webinars. And then we also have a bunch of training inside the learning portal right down here at the bottom left. Okay. All right, so now let's talk about this fun new pitch sheet feature. It's actually very, very cool. I just had them push it live for me because I knew we were doing the webinar, and I know they're dribbling it out. So you may or may not see this feature right now, but it'll be there very, very soon, probably by the time we have the replay live in the recording. So I'm going to go back into my manual listing here. Grab this second one. I'm going to click into it. And you'll see up here at the top right of the listing, it says View Pitch Sheet. And I think the first time you do it, you need to generate. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click Generate a New Pitch Sheet. You see this little green, it says we're creating it. It usually only takes a second. It says pitch sheet available. Click view pitch sheet above. And watch what it does. So it's going to open a new window with a PDF file. And I just added my profile right before this, and I think it needs to cache in, but it should pull in your picture. I didn't have my picture in the system for some reason, but it'll be all branded to you. Tells a little bit about the property. And what it does is it tells a prospective seller what kind of activity you might already have for their listing. So here it says we have 1,800 total active buyers in our office. We have 755 in the St. Pete area. And we have this many in the price range that the property's in. And then how many in the area that the property is in. So this pitch sheet is designed to help you pitch. So this could be something that you include in your listing presentation. It even shows some of the potential buyers. I thought this was a nice touch. It kind of grays out their email there. And so you put it in a pre-listing presentation. I also think that this would be a really cool thing, a cool thing to send as FSBO and expired follow-up. So maybe it's your initial touch to a FSBO expired, or it could be, hey, maybe you've sent them the first letter, and then you're making another touch and you're saying, hey, you write them another letter or something, or you could even email them and say, hey, I did a quick look inside our database at how many buyers we have in this price range, and here's a quick report about that. So active buyers means they're searching on the site. I'm not sure, Susan, if you know. I don't know if that's in the last 30 days, is it in the last 90 days? But those are people who are in the database in that city looking. Sorry, trying to get back to my pitch sheet here. Here it is. So, okay, it's everybody except the archived. Yep. So again, guys, this is designed to be a marketing tool, and it's not something I know you're going to want to. A lot of people want to drill down and say, hey, is this number totally accurate? It's designed to just give your prospect an idea about the activity that you can bring them from day one that's in your database in this area. It's meant to be a marketing material that doesn't require a lot of effort from you to create, So, so if you are kind of going after a new listing, you could go and you can create the manual listing as we did there. You would set it to coming soon or something, or keep it hidden from the site, and then you would create the pitch sheet, and then put it into your pre-listing presentation or send it out to a FSBO or expired. Good question, Barry. Do we have it for MLS listings as well? Susan, I'm forgetting. I should have you on the audio here. But isn't there a way? I don't know if you can send a pitch sheet for an existing listing, but there is a way to show, I think, the potential activity. Okay, it's just no, there is none for existing listings. Okay, yeah, this is designed to help you procure fresh ones. Yeah. So how do you keep it hidden? Let's go in here. So how do we take a fresh expired? We don't want to put them on our website, but we want to create a manual listing. That's the question. I'm gonna figure this out myself here too. So add listing. I'll just pick this random one. Oh, I think I remember now. As we built this, there's this listing status. And I'm pretty sure I can keep that off. Just make sure I just trying to get it to save for me here, but I'm doing it so fast, and there's probably a field that I forgot I'm not putting in that it wants. Does it need a picture? Let's see. Susan, that sounds about right though, right? Um, I'm saying that if you're trying to prospect to a specific expired or a specific FSBO, and you're in conversation with them, you could send them this pitch sheet and say, hey, we have activity alongside the other marketing materials you're sending to try to convince them to engage with you for a listing appointment. Let's see here. It's not letting me make my listing live. Let's see, my test one here. Sure. So somebody's saying you can't use the photo unless you own it. Use a Google map view, maybe. Maybe take a screenshot of the map. That would be one way around that. You know, put a little X over it. I'm just trying to get to the part where I can make this not live and save it. And that should stop it from showing on the site, but I can still generate a pitch sheet for it. Yeah. And then what I was just saying about, you know, if you don't have a photo of the property that you're allowed to use, I might just go to maps.google.com and type in the address and do a screenshot. So, you know, rather than using the last listing agent if it's an expired, I think that's probably the spirit of that is if it's expired, and don't use the last listing agent's picture of the property, but do something like this. So I can actually bring up the street view in a lot of cases and just screenshot that. Okay, so that's the pitch sheet feature. I think it's pretty cool. What's everybody think of it? give us some feedback. Again, it's just rolling out. If you see anything about it that you think could be improved or you know, that you'd like to see it do, let us know. We can consider it. You can also send this pitch sheet. I'm almost forgetting here. I can actually quickly go like this and send an exclusive alert by clicking the 3 dots. And I can send that to a specific contact as well. Like so. Or just grab the direct link. Oh, sorry. I can send the pitch sheet specifically to the lead. How do we get the buyer's email? Well, these would be people who are already in your system, who you're sending it to. Thanks, Rita, for the feedback. Yeah, so that if it's send exclusive, you know, it would be an existing contact. So you might want to add that. We kind of assume that if you're going after an expired FSBO, you might already have them in the system, but you might have to add them first. Yeah, so the seller's email, that's another, that goes along. There's lots of ways to do that. You know, there are products that help you get those out there in the marketplace. But yeah, this would assume that you have it. The other thing you could do is you can create the pitch sheet, send it to yourself, or just grab the file. This is a PDF file right here that I can save, and I can mail it out. I know that a lot of FSBO and expired prospecting happens over, you know, direct mail. So you could mail this out with a letter and say, hey, this could be your second touch of that person. Hey, I noticed you haven't listed the property yet. Just want to let you know that we do have a good amount of buyer activity in this price range. I've attached a quick report that I created from my system. You know, give me a call if you'd like to talk a little more about this. Okay, yeah, so send exclusive sends to buyers. Okay, so yeah, if you're going to send this around, you're going to want to send the PDF like this. I'm pretty sure this link stays good, but I probably wouldn't use it. I'd probably just download it and then email it. But I think this link stays good. I'm not sure if it expires or not. but you might get away with just copying this and sending it along. But better would be to attach it or, or send it in an envelope. Okay, cool. Any other questions, everybody? That's kind of a quick look today at our manual listings and our new pitch sheet features. With new features like this, how it always happens is I'll hang up this webinar, or other people on our training team and at Inside Real Estate, we're going to have 5 or 10 more ideas, or somebody in the group will say something. So stay tuned to the Facebook group. I'm sure we'll have ideas and other ways and suggestions for how to use these features as time goes on. But for now, hopefully this gave you something to go with, something to get started with here. Dorenda's asking, can we import the MLS listing into the manual listing automatically? I don't think so. But you could, if you wanted to build a pitch sheet for an existing listing, I guess you would just have to go create it manually. Just be careful. I totally appreciate, what you guys are saying by, using a listing that was already on or something. But we got to be very careful, code of ethics wise, about promoting other people's listings. I don't know if that's what you mean, but definitely be careful. Be careful about using, the photo of an expired that you didn't take, and so on. So the Facebook group is called Inside Real Estate Success Strategies, I think. So we just go to insiderealestate.com/Facebook group. We've got a lot of people in there. If you search, it's bringing it up now. Harry, no, currently the landing pages you created aren't saved, so you're going to want to save those URLs for now. I do believe we have it in the works to make those findable later. It's been something we've been planning to get in there for a long time. But here's the Facebook group, Inside Real Estate Success Strategies is what it's called. 44K members, we're getting there. Okay, yeah. So thank you, everybody. We'll get this replay live and ready to go. Susan's confirming that the links never expire to the PDF, so you could use those to the report. And we'll get this replay live, excuse me, next week. That's July 8th of 2020. We're going to have a cool guest. We're going to have a broker owner of about 100 agent office on as a guest. So I'm very, very looking forward to picking his brain about how he engages his agents. So if you have admins, or you're a team leader, or somebody in your office who might be interested in that, be sure to tell them about this series. And we'll be live next week at 2 p.m. East for that interview and that strategy session. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a great week. Harry, unfortunately, you might not be able to find that, but we can try if you want to open a support team. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.